All right, what's up, my people? I hope you're all doing great. The name is 2ATK Universe, and I want to welcome you all once again to another wonderful section. Today, in this presentation, I'm going to be introducing you to the smartphone graphic designing course. And just as the name goes, this course we are going to be using only our smartphone. And to be precise, we are going to be using an Android phone for this particular tutorial or course. So for the entire course, we'll be using only Android devices, and I believe everyone here who is actually watching this current video is actually using or having an Android phone around that the person can use conveniently to design stunning designs. So in case maybe you are seeing me holding an iPhone here, this is just to illustrate and then show you some of the things, because I want to share the screen with you on how you are going to be seeing when you get access to the course. So without wasting much of your time, I will actually log into my account and show you how structured the course is, and I'll be showing you some models in the course and why you are going to even learn the models, because most of the time I've realized that some people will learn the smartphone graphic designing course, but they don't really know why they are learning some things they learn, and because they don't have any reasons for learning that, they tend not to focus on it, and that results in people designing a whole lot of things that we can't call them graphics, because every graphic design should communicate an exact information to its audience. So in this presentation, I'll be showing you most of the models and some of the lessons under it, why we are going to learn it, and the main effect that is going to also happen. And I assure you that if you're going to stick with me from now to the end of the presentation, life in the digital space and graphic designing, to be precise, will never be the same. All right, so the first thing you're going to learn here in this particular course is the introduction to graphic design. That's the first module in the module 1, right? So in the first lesson under the module 1, you're going to learn the overview of graphic designing, where we are going to be explaining what graphic designing actually is and some of the few things you need to know under them. Then you talk about the principles of design, and I always say that if you are doing anything and you don't know the principles behind it, you actually fail. Principles are things that work regardless of the location. So even if you are to do the same thing in a different place, you are going to get the same results. That is principle. So if we are talking about graphic designing, we are also going to learn some of the principles that comes with graphic designing. The next thing that we'll also be talking about here is the element of smartphone graphic designing. And whenever you see any design, the design comes by combination of other things like a text, a shape, a color, or anything like that. Those are the things that comes together to form every single design you are seeing really stunning out there. So that is some of the things that you're also going to be learning under the element of graphic designing. And then the last thing under the module 1 is that you're going to be given the course materials, which include a lot of resources or design resources, which are worth thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, which are actually going to be given to you for you to use as a graphic designer for your designs. And all other projects that we'll be doing, the practical sections we'll be having, all the resources that you need will also be given. And you will also get access to join the community, our designing community, where other top graphic designers and professional designers are always willing to help and ensure you that you also succeed as a graphic designer. So maybe you've been given a project or you have anything that you also want to really share, you can also share with the community. And the next thing that you're going to be learning here is the module 2. So in module 2, we are going to be talking about some of the tools and softwares that you are going to need in this particular course. And I want to repeat that this particular course here is for only Android devices. So if you are using an iPhone, there will be another course on the iPhone, but not part of this. So kindly note that as well for me. So we will be introduced to Pixel Labs, and then you'll be introduced to Photoshop Express as well, and you'll be introduced to other softwares that you are also going to use in this particular presentation or course. So the next thing that you're also going to be discussing in this particular course in the module 3 is typography. And typography is one main thing that really worries beginners and people who are trying to learn graphic designing. It's all about the act of using text or characters into designing. So you're going to be learning the basics of it and how you can actually use text, how to combine fonts, and how to use whether you're when you're designing, where to use bold, when to use italic, when to use underline. Some of these things are some of the main reasons why beginners really fumble with design and end up designing things that I said we can't call a design. So we are going to be learning some of these things too under the, as I said. So we are going to be learning some of these things under the module 3. The next thing that you are going to also be learning here is the module 4 about color theory, right? And just as the name goes, you are going to be learning how to actually apply colors in our smartphone graphic designing. Whether you are to use cool colors, whether you are to use warm colors, whether you are to use complementary colors. And I hope saying all of these things are sounding new to people who can maybe sometimes call themselves designers but don't know or have any knowledge about this. In this course, we are going to be passing you through the theoretical things that you need to succeed as a graphic designer, and then walk you through its practical sections to see you also actually apply everything that you are also learning. Now, the next thing that you also be discussing here is the layout and composition. So you are going to be learning how to actually arrange your design on a design piece. So you can actually design, but if you don't know how to use your layout to arrange your designs, you may be having all the elements, but due to the layout and how you position all elements on that particular design, it may not communicate the exact information that the designer intended to actually give out. So that is also it. And then the next thing that we are also going to learn here is branding and identity. So we are going to be talking about the fundamentals of branding. Every company, every company is having a brand, and it's not necessarily only a company. Individuals can also have their own brands. It has helped me to build my own brands and then set up other institutions using the same skills, because the skills I got from branding helped me to always stand out in any industry that I also pursue or find myself. So you're going to be learning the principles of branding, and then you are going to also be introduced to creating or designing logos. Okay, so if you want to learn how to design logos as well, this course is going to introduce you to the act of logos, some of the principles, and how to even get inspirations to design stunning logos for yourself. You are also going to be taken through portfolio development. Most of the time people will learn the skill, but after the skill they don't know how to actually make money with it, because one, your portfolio may not be stunning enough for anyone to actually hire you as their designer. So in this course, you are going to learn how to build your portfolio so that you can also be able to stand out as a graphic designer who a lot of people would love to work with, because they believe you are somebody credible enough to work on their project. So you will learn portfolio development in a practical way, and you are also going to learn industrial trends and best practices in the module 8. Okay, and all this I'm showing you here, all of them are video courses. Okay, video courses, and all of them are actually going to explain in the practical form what you need to do and then what those things there are about. So you're going to be taken through the current trends in designing, because trust me, the olden times how they design is not the same thing they do today. So we call something retro designing. Past designs are not what happens in the market today. So if you want to be somebody who also stand out in the graphic designing space, you should know the current trends, right? And then how you can also adjust or adapt to also be successful as a graphic designer. And then some ethical considerations like copywriting and other things that you need to do also are going to be discussed here, and how to personally develop yourself and develop your skill even after studying from this particular course. Then we will move to the practical section, where we are also going to be discussing a whole lot of other practical things. There is difference between this is it and then this is what we are doing, right? So the practical session is actually going to be pure practicals, where we are going to be designing other designs ourselves. A whole lot of practical designs that we are going to be designing a step at a time, right? It's about do this, do it like this, do it like that, I do like this, you do like that, for you to also replicate the same designs whilst acquiring the skills to also use those designs as inspirations whenever you want to also design your personal designs. All right, so the next thing, I don't want to even go more into this. The next thing, or the last model here I want you to also know, is monetization of graphic design. Let me put my phone down, and I want you to look at me here whilst I tell you this. A lot of people are having the skills, but if you have the skill, I always say there is one thing about knowing the skill and there is another thing about being able to monetize it. Some people have the ability, the skills, but they don't know how to monetize it. So you can be skillfully unemployed, you can be skillfully broke if you don't get any information about how to monetize whatever you've learned, right? So in this particular course, we are going to be learning how to monetize your skill. So in this particular presentation, you're going to be learning how to monetize your skill, right? Using proven steps, right? Using proven methods and ways. So I'm going to be teaching you the systematical way of monetizing your graphic designing skills, which include serving your clients, joining freelancing. You know, freelancing is platforms that allow individuals to actually serve their talents or serve their services. So you are going to be learning how to even get access to this particular freelancing services, which sites give access to them, and what are some of the things you need to know as a beginner if you want to get access to a freelancing site. And then we're also going to be talking about how to sell your design asset. There are a whole lot of ways that you can actually monetize your skill, and you are going to learn all this as well in the course. So you can scroll down and check some of the things you are going to be learning in the models and some of the advantages you are going to be getting from this course. And to end this particular presentation, what I want you to know is that you are getting a lifetime access to this management or learning management system, meaning that anytime, anywhere, you can log in your account and start learning without you waiting for a tutor or waiting for a day we have a particular course or a day we have a certain course. You can actually always learn at your own pace, wherever you feel comfortable and whenever you feel comfortable as well. So the last thing too is that after you finish this particular course, you are going to receive a certified certificate, right, which you can also use and add it to build your own portfolio as well, in case maybe you want to advance yourself in any particular industry you want to enter, that you want to also use your graphic designing skills. Since Grapbox is a registered company, you can actually utilize that particular certificate as well. You can add it to your CV that you acquired these particular skills, which is also going to boost your portfolio. Thanks for watching this video, and I want to see you on the other side of the presentation, because myself, I will be part of the community to ensure that you also succeed in this particular industry. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you wouldn't want the timer down to also end on you without grabbing this course. See you on the inside. Bye.